This is the first coaching corner of the new year, and I'm excited to get things kicked off and ready to rock and roll. I see a couple of you are jumping into the Zoom room. Some of you are jumping in over on YouTube. I want to say this first. I'm going to take a few minutes to kind of unpack something as we start this new year. And it's simply this. There's an old adage that says, you gotta dig the well for water when you're not thirsty. You need the water when you're thirsty, but it's the worst time to build out the system and the infrastructure that you need when you actually need it to be functional. You want to do that ahead of time when you don't actually need it. Building your support system is how creators go from the doer in their business to a CEO in their business. And there's this particular mindset shift I want to share here. It's investment versus expense. Investment versus expense. Happy New Year, Rodney. I see you in the chat as well. I see NorCal Ed M News is in the chat on YouTube. This is Darren. Okay, Darren, Sippy Cup. Okay, cool. We haven't seen you in a little bit. Happy New Year to all of you. But yeah, this mindset shift of investment versus expense. Many times the tendency is to consider or view building your team and outsourcing different components and pieces as a loss of money, as a loss, right? Oh man, that costs so much. We're just on the Inner Circle call just a few minutes ago, and one of our members, David Hunt, was like, what does setting up Zapier look like? Because he knows I'm using Zapier for a number of my hooks and different things that I'm doing. And I just said to him, bro, I don't even want to know. I found a really good person on Upwork, and I had her set up my Zapier hooks, because it's not like I need to go in there every day. I just need to know enough to be dangerous, but I needed it to be set up, and I didn't want to take the time to do it. Now, the shift is, do I see this as an investment or do I see it as an expense? It's an investment because I also shared that I have this mailing list that is growing rapidly. People are being onboarded into that mailing list from every different source. That's the reason for the Zapier, right? So I had this lady come in and set up my Zapier connections. When somebody joins my school community, it automatically adds them to my email list. Somebody wants to get my gear list, they have to sign up for the mailing list, and I give them the gear list as the first email in that series of emails. If somebody books a clarity call with me, it adds them to a particular mailing list. Now, these mailing lists are specific to what they came for, but my point is this. That investment that I made to have this lady work and set up my Zapier connections has paid me back multiple times over. And it isn't an expense. It is not a loss. It is a strategic investment. If you were to give me $10 and I gave you back 1,000, how many times would you do that? But in order for you to get the 1,000, you got to stop looking at the $10 as a loss. That's the trap. Many creators view building the team, getting certain things done for them as a loss. I was talking to another lady who's a personal coaching client. So she's not part of my community, but she's a coaching client. And I was just saying to her, if in 2026, you're far past time where you need to have somebody editing your videos. She's over 100,000 subscribers right now, and she still puts out a video a week, and can you imagine? She's still editing her videos. Like her ad revenue from YouTube alone would pay for a couple of video editors in somewhere like India or the Philippines. So I'm just walking her through this process now, but it was a struggle because she's that, I see that as an expense. I see that as an expense. And I'm like, no, sis, it's not an expense. It's an investment. You got to give the $10 to get the 1,000. And so once she did it, now she has this time back in her calendar. And she said, man, I find myself a lot more innovative. I'm thinking a lot more critically about the process because my hands are not in it. I'm actually able to give my editors better instruction so that we get a better product at the end of the day because I've got more time. You got to see yourself as the engine that drives everything, but you don't necessarily have to be the hands that do everything. And that shift is what I like to call adopting a CEO mindset. You cannot scale if you are the bottleneck. I just got to pause there because I want to make sure that people don't miss it, y'all. You can't scale if you are the bottleneck for every process. You can't scale if you are the bottleneck for every process. And so here's your action item if you choose to accept it. Audit your time. I'm pausing. I want to repeat it again. 6 of you guys are on the live, and then we got a couple more that somebody else just joined us in Zoom. And for those of you who are members inside the community, How It All Works community on School, go ahead and hit the link. There's a live button that's flashing right now inside the community. Go ahead and hit that link and come on through because we're going to be going through all of your goals. A lot of you guys put all these goals in the community on New Year's Day, and I'm going to be going through those in just a little bit. But I want you to catch this first. Audit your time. Identify low impact tasks that drain your energy and view paying someone to do them as buying back your time so that you can focus on high revenue activities like strategy and on-camera presence. Buy back your time so that you can become more efficient and effective so that you can go to another level. Here's the second point. Only have 3. Second point, only have 3. So we talked about making that mindset shift. Now we're talking about strategic outsourcing, like who to hire first, right? Don't just hire help. See, this is the thing it's like, well, yeah, man, I've got this person doing this. I've got a VA. And listen, a VA is good if you are a disorganized person. Do you see what I just did there? Thank you, Tracy, for posting that link in the chat on YouTube. But a VA is good if you're disorganized. But if you're organized, your VA is going to actually get annoyed with you because you are actually doing majority of what they're supposed to be doing. And the critical piece here, here's the strategy. Don't just hire help. Hire for your specific weakness. Now, hire is a term that everybody struggles with because it's like, oh my gosh, if I hire them, then no. Create a gig. So that person only gets paid when you have work for them to do. You're not hiring them. You are making them part of your ecosystem, part of your team. I've got a couple of graphic designers that do thumbnails for me, for myself and for a couple of high profile clients that I work with. I have not hired them. I've simply said, this is what the gig looks like. I need 12 thumbnails a month. Okay, that's going to cost this amount. I pay that amount, and then every time I have a thumbnail, I just send it to them, and they kick back a thumbnail. It's not a hire. I'm simply covering areas where it's either a weakness or something I just don't want. I've got better things to do with my job. I'm not going to be creating thumbnails. These guys have been trained in the art of making a thumbnail pop and really do the job. Now, I still have to come up with the title, with the blurb, the words that are going on the thumbnail, but I am not delivering the end product. I get to be a consumer. I get to have them send me 3 different versions and say, I kind of like this one. Let's pull this from here and put it here. I think that may be the final version. That is a very great place to be in. It's a great place to be in. Now, I want to go back to the VA thing for a second. If you miss emails or brand deals, then yes, make sure you have a virtual assistant that is checking that email address, like my info at How It All Works account. My VA and I have access to it because I don't want to miss anything that goes in there. Yeah, you got a brand that wants to pay you, $15,000 to do something. No, I don't want to miss that deal. No, I don't want to miss that deal. No, not at all. Production, if editing takes you 10 hours, hire an editor so you can record more videos. So you can, see what I'm saying? You're buying back your time. I was talking to somebody who like, yeah, the podcast, I love doing the podcast, but it takes the workflow is just, I'm like, what if you could just record it and upload it and you're done? Oh, that would be great. That would save me so much time. I'm like, well, why don't you create that system? Why don't you put those people and functions in place? And then there's strength but lack direction. Now this is very self-serving, but I have to say it. If you're growing and if you're growing but lack direction, you need to hire a coach. You might even need like a launch strategist. You might need to get into a community. I was talking with Tracy earlier. We were on our inner circle call earlier, and we're just talking about some of the things. We took a look at her whole digital footprint during our hot seat session a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, man, I took some of the details you shared there, and I was able to make some tweaks and changes, and even my audience was actually starting to notice this. Yeah, that's because we as humans are, when we get tunnel vision, because we're doing the work, like I am as a coach, I have a coach, but when we get tunnel vision, we don't see all the details. We're too close to it. And so when somebody else comes in with a fresh pair of eyes and you're like, hey, why are you doing it like this? It's that one question. You may not even take the advice, but the one question allows you to pull back a little bit, see the bigger picture, and maybe approach it a little bit differently so that you avoid chasing rabbits, is what I like calling it. A coach helps you to stop chasing rabbits. But that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. You want to, look, I love it. Sippy Cup Adventures is commenting as well. Those are just 3 different examples: administrative, production, strategy. You might need a coach. Coach could be part of your team. You might need a video editor or somebody that's going to do some of your thumbnails. These can be members of your team. I actually have my daughter doing the description, title, and the chapters and scheduling the videos, so that I don't have to do that anymore. Just boom, she's doing that. I hired her on. I'm not going to tell you how much I pay her, because you're going to probably tell me, Kirk, that there's child labor laws. You need to pay her more. But she also has a warm bed to sleep in and food on the table every day. So there's more ways that she's being paid. My point is, even with that example, I want you to see how creative you can be, because we get hung up on the term hire, and it's like, oh man, do you have a niece or a nephew who wants to learn content? Somebody who wants to get into this space? Bring them alongside. Their pay could literally be just training from you, just understanding the ebb and flow of what it means to have a channel. My son, who edits one of the podcasts that I produce, he now has his own channel. From the rhythms he developed working for me, he now knows everything he needs to do, the entire process to have his own channel. That's pay that he can't quantify in dollars and cents. So understanding that you can get creative with this thing. Maybe if it's organization, you might need an assistant, or you might need some AI type functionality that's going to do some things for you. If it's production, you may need to bring somebody in, and it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who is a professional. But I recommend, if you're doing it at a high level, at least at a minimum, go check Upwork or something like that. But if it's strategy, you might need a coach. And a coach is, selecting a coach is a little bit more involved process, but these are some of the things. All right. Use the who, not how principle. I'm going to get to my final point, but I just want to say this: the who, not how principle. The who, not how principle. Oh, so I met with a coaching client once, and he was just like, you're the who. You're the who. I couldn't care less about the how. You are the who. And he brought me into his ecosystem. I was able to work with his team for about 6 months, paid me handsomely. This is a person who was just like, what is the number I can pay you that when you see my name show up on your phone, you smile? I'd never in my life had somebody say something like that to me before. Rodney Davis is laughing at me in the Zoom room. I had never experienced somebody say, I want, when you pick up the phone and see my name, you tell everybody to shut up, and you smile while you answer and say, hey, how can I help you? And I'm like, listen, here's the number. And I gave him the number. And you know what he did, Rodney? He said, let's double it. He said, let's double it. He said, let's double it, because I just want to be double sure that when you see my name pop up, you're going to be like, let's go. Use the who, not how principle. How do I do this? Right? Instead of asking, how do I do this? Ask, who can do this for me? That will shift your whole thinking for the entire year 2022. I see you out there. I love that you guys are active. I'm going to get to some of your comments in just a second. Here's the final point: the power of proximity. The power of proximity. Here's the reality. You can't read the label. You can't read the label from inside the bottle. The label can't read the contents of the bottle. You often cannot see your own potential or mistakes because you are too close to the work. The power of proximity is something that we touched on earlier, and it is very much going to be coaching and community. And this is what this space is all about. The coaching corner, the middle of the middle. It's Wednesday, a Wednesday, the middle of the week. Invest in a coach to collapse time. You are paying not just for their presence. You're paying for their mistakes. You're paying for their experiences. You're paying for however long it took them to get where they are, so you don't have to repeat them. I started a mastermind last year. It was about 4 of us, and I don't recommend having any more than that. And that mastermind is not one that I pay for. It's a group of peers. We're not paying each other. It's a group of peers. But that mastermind has been wildly beneficial. We meet on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. We're supposed to meet for just a half hour. We usually meet for 3 or 4. Chopping just talking about what we're doing, what's happening in coach, what are we doing with content, what's happening in our businesses. It has been wildly beneficial. Being in a room with people who are ahead of you normalizes success. Oh gosh, let me say that one more time. It normalizes success and provides insider knowledge. Insider knowledge. Tracy and I were talking earlier about this younger creator in her sphere, in her world. She had never done a brand deal before, and this brand was asking her stuff. And so because she's in Tracy's sphere, she has insider knowledge on rates, negotiations, trends. When you're in a room with people who are ahead of you, and then let me be clear, if you're in a room and you're the you're the outlier, like you're always ahead of everybody else, you need to find another room, okay? You need to find some other rooms where you're not. You got to get in rooms with people who are ahead of you, because when you do that, it normalizes success. Success becomes predictable because you have insider knowledge, rates, negotiations, information, trends, insight, perspective. You know where to avoid the landmines because people have gone before you. You know the term success leaves clues? It only leaves clues if you're in the room with the people who have gone ahead of you and have experienced success. And this is what I love about this particular space that we've created here for How It All Works. How long? I'm at 18 minutes, so it means I've been yapping long enough. All right. For the people who are watching this on replay, go ahead and drop a comment below and let me know which one of these things resonated with you. We'll go back through my points again. Point number 1, I think Tracy was writing them down. She might actually have them before me. This is the mindset shift: investment versus expense. Investment versus expense. Point number 2 was strategic outsourcing. Who to hire first? Is it for administrative? Is it for production? Is it for strategy? And then, we had that principle: who, not how. Who, not how. And then the last point was the power of proximity, coaching and community, getting in the room, because getting in the room normalizes success. Getting in the room normalizes success. I love it. Let me catch a couple of these comments here. We got Tracy says, "Hi, Rodney." Come on, I like to see it. Sippy Cup Adventures is here under a new name. I love to see it. That means you're on your thing. You're doing your work. And the gang, Rodney, I love it. Rodney, is it your first time here? Come on off mute. Is it your first time? Let me see.
Yes, it's my first time.
Okay, Rodney's first time. We're excited to have him. Thank you so much for being with us today, Rodney. Rodney's says what's up to everybody in the gang, says Happy New Year. Rodney, we're excited to have you. I'm going to come back to you in a little bit. I want to hear a little bit more about your story, what type of content you're creating. You are in the Zoom room, which means you're a member of the community, and we're excited that you're here with us today. Micah Flemons, longtime supporter of the channel, is with us. Says good afternoon. Just wanted to let you know I finished uploading the clips from the restream. Let's go. Micah Flemons is doing the work. I love it. Always love seeing different the different milestones that we're experiencing. Tracy had a milestone recently as well. We're going to celebrate that today as well. Where are we at now, Tracy? You said, was it in the community? You said it was 27,000 subscribers. Is that correct? Oh, man. I was 20. So she put it in the chat, but I want you to come off mute. This is 27,136 subscribers. Let's go.
Yeah, let me just check. That was when I checked a few minutes ago.
That is awesome.
Where are we?
That is awesome.
Hang on, refresh. Not the subscriber count is the bit you're meant to be watching, but yeah. Oh, thank you for that. 27,136.
That is amazing. We're super excited for that. We celebrate with you today. And let me be clear. Oh man, I should have done this before. You're seeing Tracy on screen because Tracy's in the room. Remember I talked about those rooms that normalize success? This is one of those rooms that normalizes success. Okay, let me see what else we got over here. Micah Flemons, hey Micah Flemons. Jenner86 says, hi everyone. What's going on? Thank you so much for being with us today. Drop another comment in the chat. Let us know that you're here. And let us know that you're still here, I should say. And then, of course, we have this link here. If you're interested in joining community, go ahead and head on over there. Hire someone to do your weakness. Genius. Come on. Listen, I just wanted to share a little bit of something with you guys today, man. I want to share a little something. Oh, okay. Darren says, I had my first live, which went well. I will be hosting more guest content podcasts, some pre-recorded, some live, and in both cases, less editing will be necessary. So that will save time. Listen, that's another way that you are playing to your strengths and you're prioritizing getting the value out in the world as opposed to focusing on what it looks like. The person that needs the value that you're going to share is not concerned about whether or not your name twirls in from the side. They don't care about whether it zooms in or zooms out. And if there's relevant B-roll, they don't care about any of that. The person who needs the value that you provide, that is struggling with the area that you have experienced victory, they don't care. They're waiting for you to put out the video. Thank you so much for sharing that, Darren. That's pretty good. Congrats on that. It's why I chose StreamYard. Ecamm is more about editing while you go. I don't need that. I have Final Cut Pro. That's why I learned. Hey, listen, you got to learn what's your best way of doing things as well. And I love hearing that, Darren. Hey, listen, I love Ecamm, and it's how I do my one take everything. But I totally receive that, and it is not for everybody. The best platform for you is the platform that you're able to get done. That's what I've always said. Anybody who's been rocking with this channel for some time knows that that's me. Rodney says, that means you created tremendous value he wanted to keep. You are absolutely correct. When the man literally pointed him and said, you are the who. I don't care about the how anymore. And I want to make sure that you're compensated properly because I don't want to even hear an inkling that you might be looking to go and do something else. And he's not wrong. Would you suggest AI thumbnails over creator-created thumbnails? I never suggest AI-created thumbnails over creator-created thumbnails. Creator-created Listen, I want to say this to everybody that's listening. The more unpolished, the more human you can make your content, and I would say for the next 3 years, it's going to be a huge push to see more of that. This is one of the reasons why I'm tapering off, doing a lot of editing and a lot of dynamics in my broadcast or in my content, because this looks more like what regular everyday people can do in terms of I click the go live button and I'm here. Now, for me, I'm just using my mouse right now to bring up comments. And again, I use my mouse again to bring in those who are in the Zoom room. But the whole point is, yeah, no, AI created thumbnails. Definitely not. Definitely not. And I want to thank you, Everett Hillman, for coming through. I think you said this is your first time coming through and hanging out with us on live like this. I'm excited about that. I'm a very small content creator about comics and collectibles. Let me say this, Everett Hillman. I bristle whenever somebody says I am a very small content creator. No, you are not a very small content creator. You are a creator who maybe has a small following currently, but that's going to change. but you are not a small creator. You're not a small creator. If you played with building blocks as a kid, if you ever did Legos, you've been creating things for your entire life. You're not a small creator. You may be new to YouTube. And I would use that language. I would use that terminology. There's life and death is in the power of the tongue. And we need to speak those things that are not as though they were. And you don't want to use language that automatically puts your handicap first, because it's not true. You're not a small creator. You're new to this. But I would imagine if you're making content about comics and collectibles, you've probably been doing that a long time. You're just new to YouTube. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. And again, this is just me in my coaching bag. This is what the coaching corner is all about. Tracy says, that's why I'm in the room, Kirk. That's why you're in the room. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, everybody is clapping it up for Tracy. She said 27,136 subscribers. Dr. Bishara is actually in the community. Doc, why don't you hit the Zoom link? Come on through and hang out with us. We'd love to see you on camera, or even to just hear your voice. We'd love to have you come through. He's actually a member in the community as well. So I just wanted to make sure you were able to come through and hang out. I want to make sure you get a chance to come through and hang out. All right. With that said, one of the things that let me go ahead and hide this comment. All right. Yeah. One of the things that I put this challenge out to the community. I put this challenge out to the community on New Year's Day. That's New Year's Day, yes. Let's go. I actually don't know which one of these would be good to show. Oh, where? I think I'm in the wrong profile, y'all. I thought I'd had a page with, like, screen. Okay, maybe this one will work. It will work, but I kind of need to have my camera on there. There we go. All right, so I put this challenge out in the community, and I said required post, right? So this is a required post. There's a lot of things in the post. Of course, there's a picture of my wife and I at a New Year's Eve wedding that we went to. It was really cool. But here's the take action point right here. I said, comment below your number one goal for this new year with content. Comment below. And I want you to take that challenge. Yeah. Bishara says, it seems like I mostly see thumbnails with the creator's face on it now. Very simple. Yeah, that actually works to a large extent. The phrase that you use on your thumbnail is super critical. So, Brian Jones is on here. Katisha Galashaw is on here. Number one goal is to get started. Katisha, if you're here with us today, I have something for you. And I was like, I even said here, okay, next Wednesday when we have our call, let's figure out those steps to get you started. So Katisha, if you're here, I want to make sure we can get you started today. Tommy Banks says, goal is to show up consistently for myself and for my business. And here was the coaching response, right? Here's my coaching response. That's awesome. Let's talk through what that looks like practically in a daily/weekly basis. Also, let's try to define what is keeping you from being consistent and strategize on eliminating those barriers. Right? Oh, she is here. Katisha, what? Click the link. Come into Zoom. Come on. Come on in. You're click the link. There are people in Zoom with me. So come on in. Am I tripping? No, nobody's waiting to be let in. Okay. Katisha is here. Let's go. All right. Gary Link says, my number one goal is to reduce the things in my life. I'm already benefiting from a social media unplug. I love it. Laura says, my number one goal is to gain consistency and build momentum. All right. I said, I love that. Both those have varying factors and differ from person to person. So what makes you consistent might be different from someone else. Let's talk through this further. I imagine there are several others in the group that could benefit from this as well. Come on. So we're talking about consistency and momentum. Steve says, number one goal for business, strategically and systematically output my love and service to the world and ease the grace because and proper preparation. All right. He gave some other things there, and I was like, this is great. Hoping to set up time to do live session. I put love there, but interchangeable. Live session tomorrow. Nail down some details. So we'll go with that. Monty says, number one goal is implementing and actually following a system that focuses on consistency. Let's go. Chris says, number one goal is increase traffic so I can grow my mailing list. I love that. I'm such a huge proponent of mailing list. I just feel like it's a much more personalized way to engage. And for those of you who are watching this live right now, 10 of you watching live on YouTube, and you're seeing this whole list on my screen and you're saying, what in the world? All these people. Yeah, that's what community looks like. Okay, let me go back to my main screen here. Let me see, is anybody? Yep, Katisha's here. Let's go. Now, while Katisha is coming in, I know, Rodney, you commented on this, didn't you?
Did.
Yeah, okay, here's Rodney's. Here's Rodney's right here. Okay, let me put this up. So Rodney's on screen, but I'm not. How did that happen? Rodney, how did you do that? Talk to me, man. You have powers that I don't know of.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm either.
Here we go. Now I'm back on screen. So Rodney said, turning pro. I love this statement. I love it. That's how Stephen Pressfield described getting serious and starting to be consistent in his book with the same title. Kirk, your own story is inspiring. I first saw you during the pandemic when StreamYard was still cutting teeth. So true. I was out there with everybody trying to figure it out. So I was like, love this term. What's your plan for content? Who do you want to speak to and what topic? So there's like 5 replies on this one post. Okay. I want y'all to see that this is community. Katisha, we're coming to you next. And then whoever else can jump in here. But I want you to see this. This is community. Welcome to the group, Rodney. Glad to see you here. I am on a quest to help 1 million teachers. Listen to this. I'm on a quest to help 1 million teachers turn their salaries into a side hustle. Oh, the branding of that statement is it's perfection. To turn to 1 million teachers to turn their salaries into a side hustle. Oh, which teacher would not want that? You, sir, 100, you get all the points for just coming up with a really catchy tagline. And you need to say that in every video you create, my friend. Start off with that. I'm Rodney Davis, and if you're a believer, man, don't hide that either. But yeah, I'm Rodney Davis, and I am on a quest to help 1 million teachers turn their salaries into a side hustle. Today, we're going to be talking about XYZ. Now, you put your video here, and I want to touch on that in a second. Got you covered. Be sure to come through the live call. Let's go. All right, so Rodney is here. Let me get back to the main screen. That one. And we're going to bring Katisha's here. Okay, cool. Tracy's here. David's here. All right, good. All right, Rodney, so talk to me. What's the number one issue that you're facing right now? What's the number one issue you're facing right now? Because you sent us the link to the video, and I watched a bit of it, but talk to me. What was happening? What was the issues there? Talk to me. What can we help you with?
Well, I suspect it's just a matter of getting into the swing of things and doing it every week and getting better each time. Because I made a lot of mistakes. Like I first scheduled the whole thing in LinkedIn, and I was supposed to also stream to YouTube and Facebook. And then my other half told me, actually you can't schedule it for the 31st. You better change the date to the 30th. And I went and did that. And I found out on the day of the live that you can't do that. I should have deleted and then rescheduled, right?
No,
I
you
went
can
in
do
and
that.
changed the date. Well, I changed the date and it just wiped out the whole thing. And when I went live, there was actually no streaming. I have the video, but it wasn't streaming. And so I think it's because of LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn has some funny rules around rescheduling.
No, LinkedIn is definitely, you cannot make a change with LinkedIn. You're better off deleting LinkedIn, making your change, and then adding LinkedIn back. But you may even have to go on LinkedIn to delete that initial session if you want to make the change. But yeah, no, let's walk through a couple of things here. So I'm gonna share my screen. So you're using StreamYard to create content. What is the content about?
Okay, so my niche is, as you probably guess, teachers. Mm-hmm. I've worked with teachers for 25 years, right? I'm basically a school social worker.
Right.
And so I was supposed to be working with children, but over the years, in addition to serving children, the teachers were coming to me a lot, right? So I have some experience in the classroom from 20 years ago. And I set a goal from way back then that I wanted to work with teachers when I retired. Well, I'm retired now, so I'm serious about this. Okay, teachers are my superheroes. If you ask me, I respect them very much. I like what they do, and they have some skills that they don't realize they have. Most of them do. If you've been in the classroom for more than 3 years, you're an entrepreneur, and you just need to learn how to market what you bring to school every single day, right? And so I'm serious about that that mantra. I really want to do this about, getting teachers to get serious about a side hustle. I feel like their best bet is an online course business. Mm-hmm. They can do other things as well, but I think that is the best pathway to actually turn their salaries into the side hustle. So that's a pathway that I recommend. If they're looking to actually get out of teaching, that's not my niche. I'm looking for mission-oriented teachers who want to make a serious side income. And my path to that, again, as I said, is just to have an online course business, and I want to teach them how to do that. They know most of the things already. It's just the marketing that they don't know.
So what is the content format that you're going to be using to, like, give me an example of a video that you would put out?
Well, the first couple, because I surveyed them extensively over the years, I know exactly what their pain points are. So right now, what they're saying on one level, okay, fine. I need help with 3 things. Number 1, time management. Number 2, I need more money. Number 3, I need to learn how to manage uncooperative students. Mm-hmm. All right. The one that I've decided I'm not going to work on is the one with uncooperative students, because that has to do with classroom management, and that's something that most teachers get in-house training on, and that's always something that's going on, right? So I felt that I should focus on the other 2. What's in front of me right now, the last time I surveyed, what they're telling me is, well, Rodney, all right, this is something that's going to take up more time. I am already stressed out and close to burnout. What do I do about that, right? And so I thought jumping in before I begin talking about how to monetize your pedagogic skills. What I'm going to be addressing first for the first month or 2 is how to deal with achieving that inner calm that's necessary for you to, make that switch at the end of the day, knowing that you've not only done your job, but that you can now tackle your own business, right? Yeah. There's some inner work that teachers need to do along that area.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing that's really great about what you're saying. You understand your target audience's life, but unfortunately, you can't pivot. You've got to pick one. So if you're going to deal with the fact that they feel overwhelmed, you kind of need to stay there. Or if you know that the whole concept of what you want to teach them is how to make their salary a side hustle, eclipse their salary with their side hustle. However you want to say that, but if that's what you want to do, you can still intersperse into that content principles that allow them to experience the peace and not be burnt out. But the point is, you really want to be clear on who you're talking to and what you're going to provide them. It needs to be the same thing across the board. It can't, just because that's what you feel they need to, in order for you to start, you can't deal with that. That's a whole different content area. And it does not It does not play into what your ultimate value proposition is. And you really however your content is going to be structured, maybe you need to look into, I don't know, something that teachers would absolutely need, and maybe they would watch or consume for free. And then you have something that you're actually paid for, so, in terms of walking them through how to make a business, if that's something they're interested in. I don't know. There's some other ways for us to be able to strategize that. But I want you to be thinking about it from the perspective of individual videos. So this overarching topic of, turning your pedagogical skills into an entrepreneurial endeavor, which is a mouthful to say, but that is a really critical area of focus. What does that look like on a video to video basis? What are those buckets of information that you can break that large topic into and start to begin putting out content on that? One of the things I noticed in the video that you shared is that you had a presentation, you had, you're small in the bottom in a corner, and you had this presentation that you were going through. It looked very Zoom. It looked very much like a Zoom. Don't do that ever again. Let's look at some formats. Let's look at some formats in StreamYard. So let's go to StreamYard real quick here. So here we're in StreamYard. Let me get. I'm just gonna make that a little bit bigger so you can kind of see that. Let me get this mouse thing going so you can see that as well. And I hope the rest of you are rocking still. Okay, good. I see you in there, Katisha. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna get to you in just a little bit. So here, let's take a look at some of these formats in StreamYard. So I'm going to enter I just have this test studio always there ready to go. So I'm going to enter this studio. I'm going to, let's make sure we have a different camera. Let's do this one. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's do this other one. Yeah. Hey, all right, so you're seeing behind me here. All right, so we got this other camera set up. Audio source is set up here as well. I'm not gonna really do anything else with that. But now that I have the right camera set up, I'm gonna enter the studio. Now, I'm not going to do anything special with scenes or any of that other stuff. I don't even know which one is default. Okay, so I'm not gonna do any of that other stuff. I just want you to see the default layouts that this system has. So in order to do that, I'm going to actually change my camera because I want you to see what it's going to look like. So camera. Yeah, let's do that one. All right. We'll just stay with that one. I know you're going to see me twice, but it's fine. So this is a full screen. Full screen. My recommendation to you is to have something at the beginning of the video that you can share direct to camera without any visual aids. Have something at the beginning of the video. If you notice, even when I went live today.
Do that, yeah.
Say it again.
I can definitely do that. I have a lot of content.
Okay.
And doing the presentation was actually very distracting. I prefer to just look into the thing and talk.
Look into the thing and talk. Now, you do need to give yourself a bit of a time limit. You don't want to ramble. You don't want to introduce yourself. You want to get right to content. You come on that thing, you say, here's what I want to share. Or maybe even not even say, here's what I want to share. Get right into it. The number one reason why, whatever it is, but come on to the camera and just begin to share. Now, if you do want to share some kind of visual aid, and so one of the things that I like to do is make, I have some slides that are already added to StreamYard, and you can do this as well. You simply go here where it says slides and PDFs. You click on that and you just upload from your computer. But those slides and PDFs are going to stay inside StreamYard. That's a really cool feature that StreamYard has. And secondly, do not use PowerPoint. Even if you use PowerPoint to create the slides, export it to a PDF so that you can upload it here as a PDF. You don't need any of the animations. You don't need any of that stuff. You just need the actual slideshow, okay? So here's one studio setup. That's a slide deck that I have already loaded in here, and I'm gonna add it to the stage. You see how that looks? I never use this view. Always use this view. You're the focal point. You're the focal point. If anything, now listen to this strategy, and I hope the rest of you guys online are listening as well. If anything, I will stay on this scene or go back to this one multiple times. And I can change my slide and go back to this one. If somebody says, hey man, I really couldn't see the slides, don't worry, I'll send it to you. I'll send you the slides. You know why I'm going to send them the slides, Rodney? Take one guess, Rodney. Why would I send them the slides? What's in it for me? I'm not hearing you.
I guess is you're getting distribution of your content and they're on your mailing list.
I get their email address. I get their email address. Show the slide, talk a few seconds, come off of the slide. Now, there are some ways to, utilize the slide in a different way. But I'm not even going to bother going to that because it complicates the whole scenario. It complicates the whole scenario. It would require, see, this is the layout that I actually use, but this is a designed layout. And I don't want you to have to design anything, but my point is you could literally just use the built-in layouts, this one, and go back. These are built-in, and you're not having to share screen. You don't have to have your slide deck over here and your face is over this way, you're looking this way. No, everything is right in front of you. Another thing that StreamYard has done is they've created a teleprompter that you can put right on the screen now. You can put your notes in there. It's just so utilize the functionality of the platform so that you can play to your strengths. I think it's absolutely wildly important. Oh, Doc Basheer is with us. Okay, I gotta get some more questions in. But I want you, this is the action item for this week, Rodney. You're a member of the community, so we do this session every other month. Okay, sorry, I said that incorrectly. Every other week, so twice a month. I want you to get some practice reps in. And here's another thing too. Don't bother going live yet. Just record.
There's one scheduled for tomorrow.
Well, you listen, if you have it scheduled, go for it. Go for it. But I personally, I think you want to get some reps under your belt just by recording it and posting it. Record it, post it. Record it, post it. Okay? The live, like what we're doing now, we've commented everything else like that. It takes a lot more. You got to be ambidextrous to really manage a live. Like a comment just came in from somebody who says they have a huge question. I love it. I love it. I love it. I see your question. I'm going to get to your question in a little bit, but you have to be ambidextrous with live. I'm simply saying, utilize. You see the format that's on the screen right now. Do your presentation. Record it. Post it. And follow me here in terms of strategy. I'm known for saying this in the content streets. I want to say this to you. I want to say this to everybody that's listening. Your live stream is a continuation of a conversation you started with your content. Your live stream. Notice, Rodney, that when we came in today to talk, we already had a little bit of conversation. I'd already watched your video. We'd already gone back and forth in comments, right? Because we started the conversation with content. Now we're on a live stream where I can engage with you real time. I can answer your questions. The content is structured in a way that it continues the conversation. So I put out a video. Somebody says, man, I love the way you created that scene. I don't know how to do this. Hey, you know what? I'm going live on Wednesday. Come back. Are you seeing the video isn't the time for them to ask questions. The video is for them to be able to consume and then post their questions underneath it. You have a set time to go live where you're building community. Live content is community building content. Now, there are other strategies you can employ to prioritize replay value and stuff like that. But I'm saying as you're starting out, as you're getting started, you're getting your feet under you. A couple of things you want to really hone in on is, what is these next set of videos that I can do? And is there a video that I can do that doesn't have any slides at all? No slides whatsoever. Like just me sharing value to camera. You're gonna need to do a video that talks about why you're starting this channel. You're gonna need to do a video that talks about your experience, your personal experience with making your side hustle, making your income a side hustle. You get what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to follow a guide that hasn't been where they are taking them. So you need to provide some receipts. Why are you the person that's qualified to teach teachers how to create $1 million side hustle? You got to show that. You get what I'm saying? So you got a couple of videos that you need to have under your belt, and they're gonna need to be a key portion of the content that you create, not just the video and what it is you want to teach, but you're gonna need to pepper in that content at least a string of a story, maybe just a piece of this story that allows people a window into who you are, why you do what you do, and why they should listen. There's a series that is, I think it's in the community. I'm looking for it right now. Let's see if we can find it real quick. And then I want to get to Katisha, and then I know Dr. Basheer is with us as well. And we're gonna go over time today, and that's okay. But inside the community, inside the classroom, Rodney, you have a couple of content coaching, I think is one. Maybe you want to check out this one. There's one here, but there's one that talks about how to establish yourself as an expert with content. I will add it here in the community. So you just go to the classroom tab and you're gonna see a number of things here. I'm gonna add in here a series of videos that's called How to Establish Yourself as an Expert with Content. I want you to take a good look at that, because it's gonna talk about some of the things that really enable you to have a series of videos that you can really pull from. Does that sound good?
Thanks. Quick question. Do all the cameras you have attached, are they physically attached to your computer? What's your physical setup there? Because I have a couple of cameras I'd like to bring on board, but I don't know what you're doing to have all those cameras in your setup.
Yeah, I have them all physically connected. Let me get to a couple other questions, and I'll come back to that one. But don't forget it. In fact, go ahead and type it in the chat, because I want to come back to that one as well. But yeah, there's a couple of ways to be able to do that, especially with StreamYard, and I'll make sure to go through those. Katisha, are you here with us? And am I saying your name right?
Yes to both.
Yes to both. So talk to me, sis. What we got going on? I know you had some goals that you had shared with us in this list as well.
Well, I just my delay is just getting started, and it's more so just like fear that I won't be consistent, and so I'm definitely overthinking it. But I want to develop a process so that I can kind of set myself up for success, so that I won't, drop off, because my schedule is already pretty tight.
Yeah.
But I do want to devote some time to this. So I'm trying to think of how I can do it well, but also be mindful that I don't have a whole lot of time.
No. I love that. Okay, so talk to what do you want to? You're creating a channel, podcast. What are we doing?
I was thinking a channel. Most of my content right now is written, and so I was thinking of, just, I guess, dipping my toes into some. It's not my favorite. It wouldn't be my favorite thing to do, but it seems like one of the things that has to be necessary today. So it would be,
a channel,
shorter form videos, just to post online. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
A live thing would be like a webinar or something like that.
Okay. Now, well, let's take baby steps. So we're creating now. What is the content going to be about?
So I have a virtual CFO bookkeeping firm. So it focuses on maintaining books and records, but also cash flow management. So business owners can make sure that they have the cash flow needed to pay themselves, but also have a profitable
Love it.
business, sustainable. Yeah.
Love it. Now, let me ask you this. Why did you get into that?
Well, I'm been an accountant for 23 years. With the government shut down before this recent shut down in 2019, and I was just kind of twiddling my thumbs for like 35 days. And in that interim, just really had the passion to help small business owners and nonprofits with their books, and I've been doing it for free for a while. And so during that downtime, I actually just launched the business in like 35 days, and it just kind of grew from word of mouth. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Why did you get into finance in the first place?
Oh, it just kind of, it was just a choice, but it felt good, and I like it. I love numbers. So, it works for me. It aligns with my personality and how I think and my analytical skills and things like that.
Okay.
And
okay. So you have analytical skills.
Yeah.
Numbers kind of work with your personality. Okay.
For sure.
What give me more. What is that backstory? Because I don't believe that you just jumped into finances. Finance is, somebody who's not a numbers person right now is like, what? I hate numbers. So there's got to be more there. What is that backstory? What in your upbringing? What do you got?
No, yeah, absolutely did. First generation college student, and
first generation
started at General Project and practice, and then took an accounting course, and it just stuck. And then was hired with the government and the tax, Internal Revenue Service. And so was able to really see how tax strategies can be leveraged as you grow to maintain profitability and cash flow.
See, everything you're saying is great. One of the things I'm trying, as you started to share a little more of your story though, is when even the comment section, everybody's starting to lean in some. See, profitability, but those kinds of words and terminology, the layperson, the business owner, the mom and pop shop, the people who you want to work with, the nonprofit, they're not going to resonate with that kind of verbiage. You want to talk in terms and language that will resonate with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
And then I think one of the things to be mindful of is like, everybody has a story, and that story, whether we know it or not, has a lot to do with why we're doing what we're doing right now. And the more intimately aware we are of that, is also gives people a window into your world. Now, one of the things you started off by saying was, I really want to make sure that I'm consistent. And consistency doesn't just come from having a great workflow. Consistency comes from having a bedrock why. Why do you want to do this? What is the outcome for somebody that you want to see happen? What is that dream win scenario that you want to see happen for people that you are privileged to serve?
A couple of things. I like to align myself with the values, like business owners that are very mission-driven, values-based, and I see that they do great work that makes an impact in our community and our society. And so I typically like to align myself with those type of businesses. And so I think that their work is super important. And so I want to make sure that their back office, or I want to free them so they can do what they do best, and at the same time have peace of mind that the finances is taken care of.
Have you ever seen a business owner or nonprofit that kind of matches the profile that you're talking about have to close or have to consider closing, or have stressful seasons and where they're pulling their hair out trying to figure out different things because the back office isn't right?
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, a lot of times business owners will come to me because they weren't planning for taxes. They're just doing their business, come file the taxes, and have this huge tax bill that they cannot afford over multiple years. It compounds, and have to file bankruptcy and starting afresh. And so they want to start new. When they start new, they say, all right, I know that from the beginning I have to have things in order. So it happens, more times than I would love to see. But I think sometimes, without that prior knowledge, sometimes it just is overlooked. It's overlooked.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that one of the reasons why you're doing this is because you don't want to see that happen to any more purpose-driven, value-adding businesses and nonprofits?
For sure.
That's the core why. Now, I want to say this. Let me use Doc Basheer as an example. Unmute real quick, Doc. Would you watch that video? Right? Would you watch that video? Katisha comes on. She's like, listen, I've had the unfortunate recurring experience of having to sit across the table from a business owner or nonprofit that is having to consider bankruptcy because they did not put the pieces of the puzzle in place that I'm about to teach you right now. So pull up a chair, pull out a pen and paper, and let's get to work. Make sure you implement these 3 things for your business today. Would you watch that video, Doc Basheer?
Sure.
You see what I'm talking about, Katisha?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you see how we framed it? Like what you have been talking about this whole time that we've going back and forth, this has to be part and parcel of the content. And I think this is how you maintain a level of consistency when you keep the main thing. Like that's the focus. What I just shared right there, and I didn't share it as a random thing. I pulled that from your story. Like what you have shared with us thus far, as long as those things are true, that's a bedrock why. Now, I still think that there's other things you can pull from your lived experience, how you grew up, why you got into finance in the first place. You talked about being first time in college. I want to say that there's more, I don't want to say first time in college, but first generation college attendee. I want to say that there's probably more there that you can pull from. All of these things about ourselves help our tribe to identify with us. Because to be clear, our audience, we don't choose an audience chooses us. And the way that an audience chooses us is by us helping them have a window into the world of why we provide the value that we provide. And I hope that you're catching this as well, Rodney, because all of what I'm sharing with Katisha it's copy paste for you as well. But does that make sense?
It does. It's helpful. Thank you.
That's awesome. We're excited that you are here in the community. Can I give you an action item? Is that okay?
Sure.
Really try to hone in on what that brand statement is. I'm Katisha Galashaw, and I help, value-driven businesses and nonprofits never have to consider bankruptcy with my 10-step framework for shoring up the back office. That's rattling it off my head. But the framework is I am blank and I help blank, right? Target audience, do this. And that's the value proposition with my proven framework or whatever. And that framework comes out of your own lived experience. You want to make sure that there's some kind of receipts there. I want to post in the community a template for a brand statement. And I would love for you to fill in those blanks. Is that doable? Is that something we can?
Sure. Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's going to help you to, and I think Rodney has something similar that he has with that statement. Remember I said, I'm really excited about that statement. The only thing that I want to make sure is that we add receipts to the statement, add receipts to the statement. So because that's helping people to recognize, the value that you have to provide and what they can come to you for. No worries, Tracy. I see your comment. Totally understand. I'm just so excited that you were able to be here with us today. And I wanted to just bring you on screen for a second, Tracy, if you don't mind unmuting, so we can celebrate 27,000 subscribers. 27,000. I think it's only going to bring you up if you talk. But 27,000 subscribers, Tracy, is absolutely amazing, and we want to just celebrate with you as you get ready to go today. Just share with people a little bit about what your channel is, because there's so many that are new here.
Yeah, is it mine screen? Yeah.
Yeah, once you talk, it comes
just at
up.
the moment when I'm being I'm just being beaten up by my cat. So you have to excuse me for a moment. He's just jumped on my lap. My main channel's a crafting channel, and I talk about resin crafts, and it's mostly tutorial type stuff for people wanting to get into crafts. And yeah, I've just checked. It's now 21,137. So I've gained another one since we started. And got my jeans shredded, apparently.
Oh, no.
He's gone now.
Well, listen, we want to say congrats to you. We want to celebrate with you. There's so many
very much.
that are in the group that are like, wow, 27,000 subscribers. I would, I can't wait for the day for that for me to happen. And I'm excited that you're here. But I also want people to know that while you have a channel that has 27,000 subscribers, you have another channel that has how many subscribers? What?
Oh, hang on a minute. 27,138. It's just, I've just checked. The other channel's got about 850 something.
Yeah. So I want people to see you're in both worlds.
Yeah, I've got lots of channels that I mess about with, but the other one I'm trying to take moderately seriously. I'm going out and interviewing people who've turned hobbies and into either businesses. Jobs, or YouTube channels,
content,
and how they actually go about doing it. Yeah, what their backstory is, and which reminds me, Kirk, I still need to nail a date with you.
We need to nail a date down. So drop me a DM and we'll do that, because things are starting to really book up. But I'm excited to be able to do it. We just got to find a date. That's all. But I'm excited about that.
It is huge fun. I've got one of the videos on that channel's got about 35,000 views, I think now.
Nice.
Because it was a silver play button chappie that I interviewed.
Let's go.
But I've got lined up some more big names in various very different niches, down to a chap who's hopefully by tonight he'll have hit his 1,000 subscribers in a matter of just a few weeks from zero, because he was quite successful on TikTok before. So I want to talk to him about the transition from TikTok to YouTube and how he's juggling both.
So good.
When he's just part-time breeding shrimp.
Breeding shrimp is wild. But I want to say a word of thanks to you for
the pretty colored ones to go in your fish tank.
I want to say a word of thanks to you for coming in and hanging out with us. I know you got a video that's premiering, so you're going to have to duck out in just a second here, but I wanted to just take a second to celebrate with you. That's what community is all about.
Thank you.
We win together.
Thanks.
We celebrate together. There's just because she's got that many subscribers doesn't pull from mine, doesn't pull from yours. We can celebrate one another. We can learn. And I want to say this as well. Just because a person has more subscribers than you doesn't mean you don't have value to offer. So we are all learning from one another. This is a community. Tracy's been rocking with us for a very long time. She's one of our standard members. We're excited to have you.
Well, the whole community thing is worth its weight in gold. This community is absolutely incredible. I can't tell you how much the support and just having somebody to bounce things off and get the second pair of eyes on, and it's just amazing to be part of this community. But even just amongst my little crafting community, my video isn't premiering for 50 minutes yet. Mm-hmm. But half of them will turn up about 35 minutes before, just for a chat and to ask questions and to compare notes and hang out. And that's amazing as well.
That is amazing. This is something that we
this whole
each
YouTube
get to
thing
do.
should be isolating, so awesome. And it isn't.
Yeah. And for those of you who are kind of starting on that journey, thank you so much, Tracy. I'm gonna let you roll. But for those of you that are starting on that journey, for those of you you're trying to figure out this is what I said when I meant earlier when I said getting in the room with people who are ahead of you normalizes success. It normalizes it because you already have a blueprint. You can see examples of what's working for others. And you can begin to implement some of those things and incorporate them into your own content as well. I have this question here from Systematic. I think it's Systematic. He says, I have a huge question. I set up my scenes and media and cams, but when I switch to other scenes, it still has the previous media open. So I don't know. I need more context. So I set up cams, audio, images, and media in the various scenes, but when I click between them, the previous media or cam shows instead. Like StreamYard isn't keeping the scenes separate. media persists. See, I'm going to be honest with you. I hear this comment all the time. I've never experienced it myself. So I don't, and I have shown what I do to create scenes. I don't know that it's anything different, but when you create a scene, one of the only thing that I've seen when I was on a call with a coaching client, I did notice that they were not, when the scene was done, they weren't allowing, what's the term I'm looking for? They weren't allowing, so they didn't save the scene. So here, you see, this scene right here is the show flyer scene. That's what it says on screen. But essentially, I have been editing this scene the entire time. So you have to look at what's in blue and what's here, make your changes, and then change to another scene. So now, host only. So host only is here. Oh, and that's another thing that I have also noticed is that if you have assets that have to be added to the studio for your live stream or for your content, for your recording or whatever, your podcast, add them and go through the scenes before you start to record, before you go live. That's one thing that I've also noticed as well. But honestly, I have not seen a scenario. It's like even this is an intro video, but the video is not, it's not in the bottom part here. So I don't have that scene readily available anymore. Host with lower third. So again, all these have to be set back up. Otherwise, it's not going to be there. So this is host with lower third. This one is the intro video. So I have to actually go in and show it the video that it needs to play. I don't even see the video. Okay, let's do this one. Now, that's the video. Now I'm clicking on this one. If I click back to this one, it doesn't play. But that's because the asset's not actually added to the scene. It's just a video that I'm going to play. So videos that are in the actual media assets area in StreamYard don't do that. So you have to actually bring a video in as a video file. Let's do that one, read introduction. So that's the video, okay? So add that to the stage, boom. So that one's there. So if I click back on this one, host only. If I click on this one, host with lower third. If I click on this one, it's what I designed to begin with, which should be the show flyer. But let me just put that a flyer in here just so we have it. Let's put this one here, okay? So that's the show flyer. So this is host only, show flyer, intro video, video's playing. But the thing is, I do have to actually. So this one is media presentations. This is good. So that I can actually put this slideshow back up. So that's media presentation. This is there. That's there. Interview is supposed to be 2. So I'd have to add a camera. But my point is, you actually have to go through each scene and ensure that the scene is set up for what you want it to be set up for before you actually do it, or else it's just not going to work out, right? So I mean, do that, we add that in there. So now I have these 2 cameras. This is an interview mode. This is supposed to be, I think, a top-down shot. And then for this one, I was going to have a picture-in-picture scenario. So, yeah, there it is. Now it's actually working. So you can see that top-down. But either way, the point is, when you set the scene, when I go back to it, it works. But if you're expecting that you're going to come in cold from not having been inside StreamYard and everything's just going to work, I think you're going to be disappointed, because that's just not how scenes in StreamYard work. You actually have to, because these are all working now. So, all right. I wanted to just kind of take the moment to showcase what that looks like. I hope that that's helpful. Yeah, it's mostly an issue when sharing screen from the PC and switching scenes. Whatever you're sharing screen for, so I try my best not to share screen. Hey, Katisha, thank you so much for being here with us today. I know you got to drop off, but I can't thank you enough for coming and hanging out with us today. I hope that you will come back. Look out for a post inside the community, Katisha. I know hopefully you're still on Zoom on YouTube, but look out for a post in the community with that brand statement. All right, Doc Bashara, talk to me, man. What you got going on? I know we saw your post inside the community, where you were talking about some things. Yeah. Thank you, Tracy, talk to me.
Yes, so working to get back on. I haven't posted in a minute. Wish my lighting was better. Sorry.
Oh man, we're hanging out, my friend. We're hanging out.
Hold on.
Oh, he's got on his shirt.
I just happen to have this on today.
Are you serious? That wasn't even a plan?
That wasn't even a plan.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing, bro. I'm tickled pink right now. For those that don't know,
I've washed it a bunch of times, and the color's still great, and it's still on. Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Answer question. Be consistent. Be vulnerable. Oh, that's so good.
My wife calls me out on this too for like our relationship, being like, "Hey."
That is so good, man. That is so good. Oh my word.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I know we're supposed to be talking about. So yeah, let's go through a couple of things here. Talk about what your channel is about, what your content's about. I want to make sure that we are able to get you across the line. If there's something that's a hurdle that's in your way of getting to that next step, that next stage, let's talk about that.
Yes, so I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. I have a practice here in Brooklyn, and since 2002, 2003. And so my channel initially is pretty much just for me to get myself out there as like an authority in the field for clients. I know one of the first things that people do is they want to Google you. And so I just want people to be able to find me. And when they do find me, for it to be, something that'll just separate me from the pack. In my practice, I specialize in like sports acupuncture. So acupuncture on athletes, pain, injury. I've done work with the New York Liberty during their championship season. So, that's great. And the essence of this medicine is really working on people like in their body constitution. And I enjoy what I do with the acupuncture, but I'm really working to get more back to doing, just personalized evaluations, consultations. And I was doing a lot of that during COVID when we were locked in. So a lot of it was this sort of thing,
right?
Face to face. So here, I think y'all are in Tennessee, folks in California, everywhere, all the states, and it was great. And then when things opened up, it became more of like the local thing. And so I'm working to get my name back out there. And so in my channel, I don't just talk about like sports stuff. I talk more around like holistic medicine,
as you should.
Eastern medicine, how that all applies. And so one of the things I'm working to start now is a membership group based around that, specifically staying healthy during the seasons. Like in Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine, each of the different seasons relate to a different organ system of the body. So for example, the wintertime is like the kidneys and the urinary bladder. The spring is the liver and the gallbladder, so on throughout the seasons. And so if we focus on each of the organs throughout the seasons and kind of keep going through that, you get this whole holistic piece around that in terms of taking care of the body as we're cycling through that. So I'm working to start a membership group where people that are interested in doing that can join. And so each season, as we're focusing on the organ, stuff that you can do at home, for people that may be here in the city in New York, they can come in the office and do some acupuncture, but that's not required. So everything from lifestyle, diet, herbs, meditation, qigong, all of those sort of things.
Yeah.
And so I'm working to get that started, and that is pretty much it, and pretty much looking to see how to do that exactly. Yeah. It will start right now with something.
Have you considered, so we're kind of putting the cart before the horse, but have you considered school as a platform, or are you looking for something more like on YouTube or something like that?
No, I'm thinking about doing something like this where like school would be, because I know school came down like crazy too. It's like $9 a month or something like that.
It's $9 a month now. So it's bananas. I mean, I would absolutely, I think I even said it in my comment back to you. Yeah, right here I say, let's go. Are you using school? What's the and I just, so let me just say that to anybody else that's listening as well. School is a really great platform. And one of the things that school is actually doing currently is like one of their major focuses. Let me see if I could find this, is to funnel clients to school communities. Yeah. So they put out a video every Tuesday, school does. And one of their major, look at this, how school gives you members. Schools, one of school's priorities is to get your membership group in front of people who are looking to join a membership group. So when I look at my analytics on school, one of the metrics of how people are coming into my ecosystem is actually from school. So it's almost like having a standalone brick and mortar shop and then having one that's in the mall, right? With the one that's in the mall, there's already foot traffic just for people they're just there. And some of them may just kind of pass through and be like, yo, Doc, Basheer, what you got going on? Because you're there. Whereas if you're you're in a standalone shop, they have to intentionally come to you. And so this is what I like in that too. So that's why I wanted to kind of share that to you. And of course, anybody else that's watching, I think it's a great opportunity for people to really, sink their teeth into, if you're looking to do a community scenario setup, that would be one way to, school would be a definitely platform. But I want to say this as well. Two things. The type of content that you're going to want to be putting out is content that showcases you doing the things, content. I don't know, you might have to get creative with this where some of this stuff is concerned. But I mean, like, man, if you're on a coaching call or if you're on a consult session and it's on Zoom, you have a camera off to the side where it's set up and to record you, right? That kind of content where you're still the focal point, you're on video, but you don't have to make it up. Somebody else is also asking a question. Like the best example of what I'm talking about is actually what I'm doing right now. Like the coaching corner, I go live on YouTube, but the main questions are coming from my community, right? So 15 people are watching live on YouTube. Now, some of them are doubled up. Some of them are inside Zoom as well. But people are watching me interact with my community. Your question, I didn't make it up. I didn't put that on an agenda to say, hey, we're going to talk about, starting a membership and what content would help to flow that in. No, that was your question. And so for me, my primary business being coaching, and of course, membership, this is a lightning rod. This is why this is the type of content I put on my channels, because I want people to see me doing the thing. And so where possible, now I know that not every industry can do this, but one of the things I like to tell people is, you are the content. You are the content. And it's not a matter of like, hey, what am I going to make a video about today? No, it's like, look at your calendar. What do you have on your agenda for today? All right, today I'm actually going to be shopping for new acupuncture needles because these type do this and these type are for this, or boom, that's the video. Today I'm meeting with somebody to kind of talk about certain things, and maybe while you're meeting with them, you share the framework of the fact that these organs are winter organs. That's the video, but it's because you're actually doing the thing, not so much I'm sitting down structured looking at a camera and saying, hey, here's some value. it communicates two things at the same time. Yes, there is a value in the content that you're sharing, but there's already perceived value because somebody is asking you, and you're able to provide an answer. And whether the person who's watching the video that you posted likes the answer or not, this person paid for that answer. You get what I'm saying? So it's like your content becomes like a window into this world, and it's like, well, damn, I want to be on the other end of that, table, desk, consult session, Zoom window. I want to be on the other end with Doc Basheer. I want to talk through some of these things with him. It gives people can see themselves, precedes in their mind them being a client already just by the content you're putting out. And so that's a strategy I just wanted to kind of talk through with you as well, because that was my secondary question was, so after I asked, are you thinking about using school? I was also asking, what is the draw to get members to sign up? What will you have? So an offer in its simplest form is an opportunity for somebody to work with you. But what is that offer? What does that look like? What does that look like from a practical perspective? And how do you build out your ecosystem so that offer makes sense? So those are just a couple of things to think about. Not necessarily answers that you got to provide right now, but I want to say this. So first of all, BossItLive is on with us. I just want to say what's up to her. We have been going back and forth. I really got to connect. I've got to stop saying that we need to connect, and I just need to get on WhatsApp and actually set a date and time that we can actually connect. So I'm gonna do that today. Okay, sis. So thank you so much for being on here with us. But then lastly, I want to say to the audience that's watching both in Zoom and on YouTube, Doc Basheer has been following me on this channel for I don't even know how many, it's years, right? I mean, it's probably since
at least a year and a half, 2 years. I told you for my YouTube last year, like your channel, probably your channel and Omar's channel are like the two channels, and some fishing channels too, are channels where I watch literally everything that y'all put out.
That's amazing,
in terms of long form.
Yeah.
But you don't put out shorts.
Not really. Not on YouTube. I have some on Instagram, but not on YouTube.
Yeah. And not just but this channel, just to give you, thanks and honors, has really, in this community, has really helped to spark me to kind of get off my butt and post consistently, especially last year, the beginning of the year, from probably this time, October, November 2024.
Wow.
Until maybe mid last year, I was posting every week, and my channel went, and I do post a lot of shorts, which get more views in my long form. But my channel went from, just maybe 20,000 views over just whatever the years, to now vidIQ just told me I just passed 75,000 views on my channel last week.
That's
amazing, and I know that from that consistency. So kudos. Thank you. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up,
Man, no, listen, I love it. I said it with Tracy earlier, and I'm saying it with you right now. We win together, bro. We all win together, and I love that, man. Like the fact that you have on that shirt is just it's so amazing.
Only God,
absolutely amazing. And for those that don't know, this shirt that he has on is a shirt from my store. Like this is from my store. Like let me see if I don't even.
You can see.
Yeah, he's already standing up. Let's go. Yeah, this is a shirt from my store. I'm gonna. Yeah, he's showing the whole thing. Here we go. So this is if you go to my website and just go to T-shirts right at the top, you'll see that this is the store right here, and the shirt he has on right now is this one right here. Answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable, and I'm tickled by that. I'm just like, that's so dope. That is so awesome. It is so cool, man. And I'm just tickled by the whole thing, man. This is what content will do. Man, you know what I'm saying? We while we've never met in person, but I've seen his name in the chat multiple times. And even on other platforms, like sometimes when I'm on a stream show, I might see you pop up over on the Ecamm channel. It's just like, man, Doc Basheer, that's going on. And I think you started watching when we were doing the morning motivation. I think that's when it was.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
I started watching you because I had StreamYard.
Right.
And I was trying to get some training on StreamYard, and one of your videos popped up. And I liked your video, and I was like, oh, who's this brother here? And then I went to your channel, and it was a whole another level. And it really just helped. And then the morning motivation, I would listen to it with my son on the way to school and things too.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. No, I was actually saying a little earlier that is something that I, when I was doing an assessment, I really said, man, what kind of content really refills me? And it's that. It's that more, that format. So I'm gonna be looking to bring that back here in 2026. In a very real and consistent way, man. So look out for that. That's gonna be coming, and it's gonna be early as well. So I'm excited for that. I don't know. It's not gonna be every day like that. That series was, I don't know what I was trying to do, trying to get it through there, but it was every day for almost 3 months or so. It was crazy how much content.
I think you said you were working to get consistency with that too, in terms of goals that you had.
That's right. So
we had content. You didn't meet those goals, and so you just posted so that you can reach those goals. And awesome, which was inspiring for me too. I kind of used some of that format, and I don't want to take up too much more time. But just to confirm what you said in terms of your recommendation to me around content, because for me, I can nerd out and think I want to give people, and I've spoken in public, and folks, I start getting the one eye, and I notice that the best part of when I would do public speaking is the question. That's when people would come alive, is when I'm answering their question. Mm-hmm. So when I would do public speaking, I would introduce myself, give all of my accolades if someone didn't introduce me, give a really brief talk, and then I would just open the floor to questions.
Yep. Listen,
kind of like you're doing here with Coaching Corner.
What you're talking about is when I was in public speaker school, I was in a program called Booked and Paid to Speak by Grant Baldwin out of Nashville, Tennessee. And one of the things he said to me was like, he said, Q&A is magic for you, Kirk. Like, you've got to figure out, you got to structure your talks, your workshops, your everything so that you can get to Q&A faster. Because when you're in Q&A, it's gold. And I sat there thinking like, I absolutely love Q&A. It's my favorite part. I do the presentation so that I can get to Q&A. And he was like, oh yeah, I could tell because the Q&A is gold. And so what I ended up doing was reframing my talks as questions I get to answer. And that actually completely took my speaking sessions to another level. So it made the talk good, but I still got a chance to get into Q&A as quickly as possible. So now you found the cheat code, my friend. That's it right there. When it's Q&A, it's about the person. And that's what content is. If anybody else is watching, listening right now, content is about the viewer. It's not about the creator. And the more you can make it about the viewer, the more you're going to win. The more you're going to win. I was saying to Rodney earlier, saying that to Katisha earlier, tap into the pain language of the person you want to talk to. You want to say it the way that they would have said it to a friend, like, man, I'm really dealing with this. Tap into that pain language and lead with that as someone who wants to alleviate it and eradicate it, get rid of it, experience transformation, allow them to see victory. Like that's this cheat code, man. And that's why questions are it's a no-brainer. I mean, but no, listen, I think that's going to do it for today, man. David, I know you're still there. What's up, man? Are you with us?
Thank you.
Hey, not a problem, Doc. I appreciate you, brother. Let me see if I have any more questions. I know David is still there. Well, he was a little bit ago, but I guess he may have gone now. All right, so Darren. Oh, there he is. David, what's up, man?
I'm good, man.
Talk to me, brother. What's up? What you got going on? Anything new? Anything we can work with?
Yeah, I've been listening, and I think that just being in the room helpful to me to reframe one, getting my brand statement. So I think I need to refine that a little bit.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that, David. Let me say something real quick to Doc Bashara. That was another thing that came to mind when you were talking, was your digital footprint. And that's actually something, because you talked about, I want when people find me that everything is together. There's a signature program that I'm working on launching within the next couple of weeks. In fact, a graduation is scheduled for the 27th of January, which is a Tuesday. We have a graduation scheduled for my pilot program. I'd love for you to join us for that graduation, so you can kind of get a feel and look at what that program looks like, and then you get a better idea of what that program provides. So I just wanted to make sure to mention that. Thank you for saying that, David. It just gave me that reminder.
Yeah, no. So I was gonna also add that being in a room like we are today, Dr. Bashar and the others that were here, is very, very critical, because you can get an expert's firsthand responses to your questions. But also, I think one of my goals that I put on there was getting my one-on-one. I think that will also help to move the needle, because you have once in a group coaching, you can get really good feedback, but on a one-on-one, you have the coach's full attention, and so that
listen, you're not going to find any argument from me. One-on-ones are very much part of my success framework for those that I coach. But I will tell you this though, David. The example we have from Jesus is not one-on-ones. It's always group.
Well, I mean, he had Nicodemus.
That wasn't initiated by Jesus though. That was Nicodemus trying to be on a sneak. What I'm saying is, there's just I'm telling you this as someone who's also in coaching and has also had one-on-ones. There is something that happens when somebody asks a question that you never would have asked it yourself. But when you hear it, you're like, oh my gosh, that question and answer, more specifically, is for me. And I can't tell you how many times I've experienced that in group coaching.
Well, I'm talking about today, just with what you were able to talk about.
Yeah.
It was gold. I was just like,
well, you have it. There you have it. There you have it, brother. I think that there's a place in the structure and the framework for the one-on-one. Listen, that there's a place for it. I'm just saying, there's, unfortunately, not everyone, follow me on this one, not everyone understands the art of asking the deeper question. I mean, for those that were listening when Katisha and I were chatting, you know that we were just kind of going levels deeper. As every question, I was just trying to get, let's go deeper. Okay, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Not everybody does that. And unfortunately, we can get into a one-on-one where the questions are not really hitting. And so that's why I think when you're in a group setting, it even helps you to reframe what questions you were going to ask, because you've heard so much good content from those you're in the group with. So it's just a quick point of reference. But there's, I'm excited to jump on a one-on-one with you. I think we're going to be able to get that scheduled here pretty soon. I'm going to put out something in the community that allows everybody who is a member of Inner Circle to be able to have that one-on-one. But I tell you what, man, today was really amazing. There's still, as I'm looking at this list, there's still easily, 10 to 15 more posts that I can pull back up here and talk about, because, there's just so many different people who have goals that they're wanting to achieve. Dr. Vibe didn't come in today. I know he's got some goals, wants to be, my number one goal for this year with content is increased monetization. I know I have some stuff specifically that I want to talk about that. Kim Wilson talked about passive income from her content, and I definitely have some stuff I want to talk about that. Darius O'Kane talked about leverage the power of community. Important to gain from knowledge from others. I've found that a lot of what I have to offer has been wasted trying to help those in my immediate circle. I would be better served by opening up to a wider audience. Don't let small minds slow you down is what he said. And I have some stuff I want to share that. Toussaint Williams put something in there. I want to learn how to be clear in communication and my messaging, posting consistently and still be creative. That's great. Andrea Balogun says, show up, period. That's her goal. And I think that's absolutely, that's what I'm saying. There's so much more from that one post. There's so much more content that I'm privileged to be able to speak on and share. And so I just hope you guys keep it locked right here. For those of you that are not in the community, what are you doing? Go ahead and jump on in. I think that it's going to be great. And I want to end by kind of recapping what we talked about at the beginning, right? From creator to CEO, building your support system. The mindset shift of going from investment versus expense is critical. Something that we each need, not want, but need to master, need to hone in on, need to be able to experience, making that shift. Then we talked about, the trap of seeing hiring as an expense, as a loss rather than a strategic investment. And adopting the CEO mindset helps you to scale, right? Because if you are the bottleneck for every process that is in your system, in your process to put out content or to serve your clients, then you can't scale that. You can't actually grow. And so the action item that I challenged everybody with was audit your time. Identify some of the low impact tasks that drain your energy and view paying someone to do them as buying back your time. I wanted to make sure that was clear. I wanted you to leave with that. Point number 2 was strategic outsourcing. Don't just hire help, hire for your specific weaknesses. Such a good thing to think about, such a good thing. And hire, don't get caught into the term hire. Don't get turned off by the word hire. Make sure that you see hire as what it is. It could be your son, your nephew, your niece, your daughter. It could be a younger cousin, a college student, a mentee, somebody that you can bring in to your ecosystem and allow them to provide this service to you while you provide them value in training, in your years of expertise. I mean, you can be their coach. I mean, there's so many different ways you can do that. There's administrative things, there's production things, there's strategy things, and I want you to be thinking about those as well. I also talked about the who, not how principle. How do I do this instead of who can do this for me, right? And the power of proximity and coaching. Man, listen, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself with a coach. It will help you to collapse time. It will help you to collapse time. And being in a room with people who are ahead of you normalizes success and provides insider knowledge on whatever it is you're looking to achieve. These are some of the things I wanted to leave with you today. I think that there's so much that we're able to talk about and really experience from the different coaching, the different community members, I should say, that have been on the live with us today. I hope that was meaningful for you as well. We tried to answer a good amount of questions. But this is what the Coaching Corner is all about. Usually isn't 2 hours long, but today we decided to go over. It was the first one for the year. Every other Wednesday, so basically twice a month on Wednesdays, we do have this session for the whole community, the How It All Works community. Once a month, however, we stream it, and so that was today. I don't know, maybe we might stream it again for the next one as well. We'll see. So just kind of stay tuned to the channel for that if you haven't signed up for membership. But if you haven't signed up for membership, why? But I'm going to get out of your way for today. I want to say a word of thanks to everybody in the community that came through, like Tracy. I saw Florence come through for a second there to put some comments in. I saw Darren as well. Darren, I was trying to get to that other question. So sorry I wasn't able to get to that one. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. I'm learning about drag with using the Link 2C virtual desktop camera and with my Fi-Fi microphone, and ultimately editing when in StreamYard. What is the problem on my end? I don't know what drag means. Is it delay? Maybe it's delay, or is it like a stutter with your virtual camera? So maybe I need a little bit more context on that. But you can drop me a message and we'll try and deal with that offline, Darren. But I just want to say a word of thanks to all of you guys for coming through and hanging out today. It makes this experience what it is when you are all here, when you're all engaging and we're all having a conversation. And those that catch this on the replay, go ahead and drop a comment below. Let us know what are you looking to achieve? What are your goals for content in 2026? I was just about to say 2025. I keep on forgetting. It's not 2025 anymore. It's 2026. Family, be blessed. Make it a great one. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next stream. Always remember, the call that we each have is to steward our story with content. Steward our story with content. When we do that, it will help you to discover purpose. And discovering purpose is confirmed by the lives that you will change, because that's the next step. You'll change lives. And when you change lives, invariably, it doesn't happen because you tried. It happens because it's just natural that you will expand your reach and multiply your opportunities. Expand your reach, right? Your sphere of influence, because every life that you change is your reach is expanding because they become a mouthpiece for you. You expand your reach, and every time you expand your reach, you multiply your opportunities. This, family, is how it all works. Romans 8:28 says, "For we know that in all things he works it together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purposes," because literally he is the author of the story. And so our one call is to steward it well. Be blessed, family. We'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you next week. Later.